what to do. Please welcome the Smallville panel. And I think you can do better than that. Oh, we're doing the fist bump line. Awesome. Excellent. Excellent. That hot stage is great to have you guys. The switches for the microphones are on the very bottom.
Underneath.
On the bottom.
Hello.
Hello, is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes, I can see it in your smile. You're all I've ever wanted. 'Cause you know just what to say, and you know that I'm a Jew, and I want to tell you so much. I love you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Bravo indeed. Now that's the way to start a Q&A.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before we get to the audience questions, I have a couple just real quick ones. The show.
Yes, I'm single.
And that's all the time we have for this Q&A. Thank you guys for coming out. The show went for 10 seasons. What do you think gave it its longevity?
The acting. Go, you answer first.
Okay, yeah, I think that it's just a show. There's a lot of aspects of this. I think when there's a panel and a whole bunch of us on, we can give different answers. There's so many things about Smallville that made it last for as long as it did. I think a big part of it is that it was a show about a weird kid who didn't fit in, and that weirdness was what made him special and gave him kind of his view, and also about the journey of an evil guy.
I agree with Kristin. That, along with the beautiful cinematography.
Yeah, it looks great.
At the time, the effects, special effects were amazing at that time, and also for TV, they were groundbreaking. Remember, they had to do those effects, like, they had 2 weeks sometimes to do those effects, and it was pretty brilliant. Some great directors and some great guest stars like Amy Adams. And
Amy Adams is amazing.
amazing. And we all grew into our characters. It was fun to have some sort of evolution of the characters. So it was a lot of things. We were lucky. It was one of those, it was, catching lightning in a bottle, because I've been on shows that aren't great. I mean, let's be honest. And it was good to be on something that was great, and also feeling that you're doing a good job too. And it was great. And the fans loved it, and it was before social media. If it wasn't for us, there'd be no Arrow, there'd be no Legends. We all know it. Thank you.
There's also the timing. The timing of Smallville was perfect. It came out in a kind of pocket of time where people needed a hero, and they wanted to see that hero on TV every day. Someone who looked after them and who was quintessentially American.
Yeah, really. It was during 9/11.
Yeah.
And, I think people were looking for an escape, for a hero. And, I guess we were that. I got so many people coming up to me, like veterans, that are like,
Yeah, same.
your Smallville got us through the war. I'm like, Smallville? How the hell did it do that? It distracted us. We escaped from all the hell that we were seeing around us. So it was pretty awesome to hear that. Because they're the real heroes, obviously.
Do you remember much about when Christopher Reeve made his 2 appearances?
Yes, I was jealous I wasn't in any scenes with him. I was really upset. I called the writers, and I did.
Did you actually
I
call
said,
them?
Christopher Reeve's coming. You're not letting him hang out with the OG GOAT X? Come on.
And they didn't buy into that?
Nope.
Shucks.
Well, would you mind getting some questions from the audience?
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, let's be honest. I'm not just saying this. It's true. Without you guys,
Yes.
we wouldn't be here. We would if you didn't watch and you didn't enjoy and love the show. So give yourselves a hand. Seriously.
Thank you.
It's a show that keeps on going. Like, there's like a new audience with Hulu, a new generation, and we get so many people coming up to us now. I'm like, oh my gosh, this show's been over for 10 years, and it's a blessing. We're very grateful.
Great. Question right down front.
Hi.
Did you ever see that little Indian girl on Instagram Live? She's going to school and she's so excited. She's like, bite, bite. She's so cute. All right.
would you all ever consider, if the script was right and if you can get everybody back, would you consider doing not maybe a reboot, but maybe a continuation story, or possibly a movie?
Well, I think we'd have to get in shape, except for Kristin. Look, if it was really good writing, it made sense, and we were given some time to honestly, like, wrap our head around and get prepared, I think it would be dope. I think it could be really cool, but, you know, it'd have to be a really good script. And Alan Miles would have to want to do it, which I think they'd be up for it if it, especially since my best friend now runs DC, James Gunn. So, anyway.
Possibility of an animated series?
Yes, Tom and I have been working on an animated series. We pitched it to Alan Miles, the creators. They loved it, but they were working on Wednesday for the last year on Netflix. And now that they're kind of done, we're going to get into it in January. So hopefully we'll pitch by February or March, and we'll see what happens. I'd love to do it.
That's great.
Get all the original cast members to voice their characters. I got a cool artist who's amazing. Did I send it to you?
No, please send it.
All right, talk. I'm going to look it up.
Okay.
Good luck to signal in here.
There's a question right down front.
We got one right here. I'm so sorry to interrupt, Kristin. Happy holidays, guys. Mike, thank you so much. I appreciate your podcast. I listen to it all the time. For those that have not listened to it, it's Inside of You podcast. Please check it out. It's phenomenal. And,
Thank you, man.
Yeah, of course. And secondly, do you have any, I know I've heard on one of your episodes, but any fond memories of working with Wes Craven on the film Cursed?
Dude, the movie wasn't great. Wes wrote a script called Cursed, and he shot the entire movie. I don't think you guys know this, but it was a horror movie. Christina Ricci. Well, afterwards, the studio said, this doesn't work. I want you to fire the entire cast, except for Christina Ricci. I think that was the case, except her, and they recast all the roles. And Wes Craven wrote me a letter, and I still have it. He just said, I'd love to work with you. I saw your reel, and I think all these things. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't read this script. I called my agent and just said, yep, whatever it is, I'll do it. Because I just wanted to work with Wes Craven. And when,
You shot the movie twice?
Shot the movie twice.
And it wasn't good the second time?
No. But every take he would say, Michael, do it like Christopher Walken. I'm like, listen, I don't know. And then he'd say, do it like Nicholson. I'm like, well, you could do what you want if you know. And I'm doing that. Do it like Malkovich. No, what you could possibly know. And he would do, and I would do all these impressions. And he was just a goofball. And it's funny because there was only like 4 little scenes in the movie. And then when I went to the cast party, they had a 5-minute video of like outtakes. It was all me. The whole cast was like, who the hell is this? I love it.
Okay, we are way in the back of the room, so if you guys could speak up a bit more. We have 2 questions. Stand up, one right here.
What was it like shooting in the episode The Vortex?
Some of that cut out. We heard
The Vortex.
The
What was it like
Vortex.
filming The Vortex?
What was it like filming the episode?
Was that episode, season 2, episode 1?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, have you watched it already?
I got into some of it, yeah.
Oh, you got into it, yeah.
Honestly, I forgot I had The Tempest, this finale of season 1 was so awesome that I was like, I gotta watch the next one. It was so gripping, I had to watch the next one.
Okay.
It was really
what
good.
happens in Vortex?
I didn't finish it.
Okay.
But it's just what happens with, when Lex kind of saves his father. He's in the finale of the first season. He's like, what's he gonna do? He's got the blood on his face, and it was just, it was awesome. I like when Lex can be intense, when he can be that guy that he becomes eventually, inevitably. So, but that's what I remember.
And we have one more question in the back. Right here.
We're done?
No.
Another question in the back.
First of all,
Hold on.
Michael.
While we look at things. No, you can ask.
This is the animated picture.
That
Okay.
you're not looking at, but I am.
All right. There you go.
Okay, yep, go.
Okay.
So first of all, Michael, I know that so many people know you for Lex Luthor, but I've always been someone that's known you for The Flash and the animated Justice League series. And I really do want to ask, what was it like working with Kevin Conroy?
Yeah, that broke my heart. It broke my heart. He had such a powerful presence and an energy, and it was so giving. He did an episode of my podcast, Inside of Michael Rosenbaum. He opened up, and it was beautiful. He talks about his father and his pain and all these things, which we like to talk about mental health and stuff with celebrities in the podcast, not just celebrity bullshit. But he was just so, every time I saw him, he goes, Michael. We give each other a big hug, and he just seemed really interested in whoever he was talking to. Like he wanted to know what you were doing, and it was a shock to me. I really didn't know how sick he was, and it just really happened. Like he was struggling, and then boom. And you know, it was devastating. It was devastating to all of you, to us. And I'm actually Wednesday. I'm having a gathering at my house with all the Justice League Unlimited actors, and also Tara Strong and Will Friedle and Clancy Brown, Andrea Romano, who directed all the, and they're coming over to kind of celebrate him, have some food, and just so he was awesome.
I think you had another question down front over here. All the way over on the far end. Excellent.
Hi, Michael.
Hi.
I just want to say you and I share the exact same birthday.
7-Eleven?
72.
Wait, you were born 72?
Yes, sir.
We are old. I'm 50 years old. I know, I look 49, so it's totally cool. But I'm 50, Tom's 45, she's 40.
Thank you for your podcast, and I just want to say thank you for getting in front of anxiety, talking about it. And my question is, you always talk about horror movies. What's your favorite horror movie and why?
You know, it's a tough one because I could name what? Day of the Dead is great, and Dawn of the Dead was filmed at this mall, right? This mall's out here. I love Romero, groundbreaking stuff. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, probably the scariest movie out there.
It's a scary movie.
But yeah, oh my God, I love movies like Jaws. I love Return of the Living Dead. One of my favorite movies of all time. It was funny, it was scary. Aliens, but I think the one that I always think of, Wendy, darling, light of my life, I'm not gonna hurt you. You didn't hear me, Wendy. I said I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in. I'm gonna bash them right the fuck in. Anyway, that's The Shining. Shining. Do you remember the scene when Wendy comes up to him and goes, Jack, there's someone in the hotel. Jack, they hurt Danny. And Jack just looks at her and goes, you out of your fucking mind. Just classic, man. Or Grady in the bathroom, remember that? I'm sorry, Mr. Torrance. You are the caretaker. You've always been the caretaker. I don't have a life. I was a nerd growing up. I was in my garage, you know this, Leah, you guys, Kristin. I was always, like on Friday, Saturday nights, I would be in my room and I'd ask my parents if I could borrow their VCR, and I'd go up and I'd attach my VCR to theirs and I would copy horror movies. So I had 3 on each videotape. Little did I know they'd all erase. In the next 10 years, I spent countless hours, The Fog, The Swamp Thing, just recording these movies up in my room watching horror. That's all I had. That was me. And everybody else was drinking and partying, and I was cool.
Let's head to this side of the room for a question.
Out of all the seasons you guys filmed, what were your favorite episodes, and who were your favorite guest stars to work with?
I think the episode Requiem is an excellent episode. It's really sad. And
What happens in that?
that's the one that Jonathan dies in.
Jonathan Kent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's at the funeral.
Yeah, it's a really, really sad episode, but it's really well done. It's well acted. I love that one. I love Lex Smith because we had fun shooting it, and I also like it because it's a moment where Lex makes a decision. He has a choice, and he makes a choice to not be good in the end in that episode. I think you make that choice many times, but
Yeah, it was sad. I mean, look, he's obviously trying to be good, as we know, and then it was Clark's fault he didn't get back. Anyway.
it's Clark's. Everything's Clark's fault.
Yeah, I mean, if he would have been honest with me, I would have been honest with him, we could have ruled the world together in a positive way.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think Onyx is one of my favorites because I got to be Bad Lex. You got to see, like, you know, you were right about me all along, Mr. Kent. I am the villain of the story. You know, moments like that where you get to just take it and go and be intense. I like that. Or, you know, Lexmas for sure. The pilot, I just remember just going, oh my God, I finally did something that people might see. So it was great. And those episodes, I would think. Yeah.
We're going to head over here. I think we have 2 questions, right? No, just one.
Hi guys. I was wondering, I always love bloopers, so I was wondering if there was like a scene that was so hard to film because somebody kept breaking character and laughing.
I feel like there's so many times that happened. Do you have a specific one you're thinking of?
I just remember sometimes I wasn't even trying to be funny, and I look at her and she goes, what? I do nothing. She was laughing at me.
I break pretty easily sometimes, and on Smallville, it was goofy. We were so serious. So it was so serious that it made it funny.
Yeah, and I was always messing around. It was like, oh my God, I farted so loud last night. Action! Listen, Clark. Let me tell you something. It was like, that's how I worked, because if I was always intense, I'd not be in a good place. But yeah, the funniest thing, on one of the outtakes, there's Jonathan Thompson Taylor's?
Taylor Thomas.
JTT from Home Improvement.
Correct.
There's this moment where he's walking, he's like an orderly or whatever, and I'm like in this caged cell on my back, and I remember he walks in, and it's like an intense scene, and I just go, and he goes, really, dude? And I go, hey, man, sometimes you just gotta let it go. And I remember
Taylor Thomas was like not a farty kind of a dude.
Yeah, I didn't like the
It's
fart.
not really his thing.
It had to be. It wouldn't let me get out of this cage on my back. And I was like, well, I'm gonna rip one then. You don't want me out. Whether you like it or not, dude.
And another one down the middle.
Yeah, this question's for Kristin. What's it like really working with Michael?
You know, it's funny because Michael and I and Michael's a very good actor, so he makes working actually quite easy. The tough part about Michael is he's a little antsy, and he has to entertain himself, and sometimes that takes up time, and sometimes that makes it challenging.
Sure.
But on the whole, at least when we worked together, you were pretty well behaved.
I wanted to impress her. I thought I had a chance with her. I didn't. What are you gonna do? I think she was charmed by me, right, maybe?
Yes, of course, you're very charming, and you're a joy to work with. You are.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You are too. In fact, I tell this story sometimes, but Kristin was real young when we started, and I was like, 10 years older. You were 17, I was 27.
I was 18.
18,
19,
I was
yeah.
19, I was 29.
Yeah.
And at first she was like,
One of our first photo shoots, Michael picked my nose. Yes, you went and you were like, you got a booger. And I didn't know you.
like that?
It was a little weird. My boundaries, I think this is fairly obvious. My boundaries are very strong. I have like really intense boundaries. And he's like, what boundaries? See, like that.
Yeah, but it was almost like, it's not that she didn't like me, but I think she was just like, weird guy, he's cool, he's fine, whatever, but And then once we started, like later in the series, and once we started working together, there was a fondness that developed that we both really loved working together, and it was so much fun. We had some great scenes together.
We had some great material
Great material, and I love that. I think it was really fun, and you had really soft lips. Next question.
Right down the middle again, farther back.
Hi. I'm curious because you guys have talked about how you would love to see Bruce Wayne or Batman on the show. So, any actor come to mind who you would have liked to see in that role?
As Batman?
As
like
Batman,
an actor
Bruce
from
Wayne.
that time, like
Yeah,
in
from
the
the
early
time.
2000s.
Yeah,
Michael
like on the
Keaton would
CW.
have come on. That would have blown me away. He's the best Batman ever. Hands down, the best. There's no question. Michael Keaton he has this innate charm that you just can't buy. You can't find it. There's great actors. Ben Affleck's a great actor. A lot of actors. Val Kilmer, brilliant actor. But there's something naturally charming where he's just like, I don't know. He's just awesome. He just has that kind of funness about him. coolness.
Let's get two more from the back here. Stand on up.
By the way, did anybody see my Instagram? Gene Hackman signed my Superman poster. He put, to the second best Lex Luthor. Love, Gene Hackman. Yeah! That was perfect. What do you mean? Like I am the second best? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
My question is for Kristin. What do you think from Beauty and the Beast? How do you like that compared to Smallville?
It's funny, someone else asked me a little bit about that earlier. Yeah, I think they're two incredibly different shows. I love Beauty and the Beast because I got to play a strong, really independent, kick-ass, like literally she was a good fighter character. And it was a different part of my career, so I felt really comfortable. And Smallville I love for its kind of purity and its innocence and its kind of broader explorations of human existence and goodness and evil and all of that kind of stuff.
Okay, and we have a question right down the middle here.
Just ignore him, keep going.
Okay, and the question right here.
That's okay, he left, but I have to ask about Eurotrip because nobody else will. Was it awesome to work with punk rock Matt Damon in the hit Scotty Doesn't Know?
Yes, it was awesome. It was pretty silly. I don't know what is going on here.
I know who these guys are on stage anyway. I'll see you in a few minutes. Oh, give it up for her. I noticed when someone's not paying attention.
See?
That'll keep everyone on their toes.
There.
To answer your question, it was
Nice.
really fun.
I don't know how we're going to follow that. Swing over there.
Yeah, what are we supposed to do after that?
Next question. Twitter wait first.
Well, he stole my question for Kristin about Scotty Doesn't Know. It was my favorite thing. But I want to ask you both, during your time on Smallville, how many opportunities did you get for movies and TV projects to kind of, because all kind of scripts be thrown your way, like, oh, we would love to have you for this. So what projects actually came over, through your agents and stuff?
In the early days, there were a lot of projects that came in. I signed on to multiple projects. They fell apart. Like there was just all these things that came and went that we couldn't do. I don't know what it was like for you, but it was. We had a choice, during hiatus. We worked 9 months out of the year, sometimes closer to 10. It was a lot of work. We were tired, and then you had like your hiatus. And do you want to go do a project, or do you want to travel or sleep or whatever?
I was bald for 10 months.
Yeah, right.
So I didn't have a lot of choices, but the ones that came up were like cursed. They'll put a wig on me. It wasn't a great wig. Sorority Boys, which I loved. They put a bad wig on me. Bring Down the House with Steve Martin. I wanted to work with Steve Martin. Wasn't a great wig. I had a lot of fun doing those movies, and they were fun, but like for the most part, 10 months a year I'm bald, so I'm glad I didn't do too much because, I don't know, it was nice to have a little break. I was so tired and I wanted some time with my friends and just to decompress.
Yeah, if you choose to do a movie in that downtime, you don't see anybody. Like your life becomes just the work that you do. Like it's such a, I don't know if people realize sometimes how, it takes everything working on a TV show.
It's not glamorous. People think it's like, oh, I want to go on set, and I bring my friends, and within 2 hours they're like, you're still on the same scene? I'm like, yeah, we're gonna be on this scene for another 4 hours. Right? It's just like, and they're like, okay,
if you're
thanks.
lucky.
If you're lucky, right? Sometimes it's longer, it's a whole day, and stunts, and 14 to 16 hour days or whatever, and you're just like spent. They're like, okay, we'll see you at 7 a.m. tomorrow. 5 o'clock to shave your head. Great. I'll be there. I'll buy my own. So yeah. I remember I got an offer to do a movie with Judi Dench.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but it kept pushing and pushing, and eventually it didn't get made.
I was supposed to put on Susan Sarandon, and it fell apart because she was too political.
Susan.
Oh, there's another. Wait, he needs a microphone. No, microphone is what you need.
Everybody else needs to hear it. Okay. What's the next big Sonos product that should be coming out? Did they give you like a little teaser about what's coming?
What do you mean, for what?
The next big Sonos. The Sonos with the headsets, with the speakers, the Sonos system.
Sonos?
Yeah, Sonos.
Yeah.
But what's the next big item?
Why would you
Do
know
they give
that?
you teasers?
I love Sonos.
Well, yeah, he's always promoting it on his podcast.
Oh, 'cause
all
he's
the time.
promoting
Well,
it.
Sonos was a sponsor, but I've owned Sonos forever. It's like, I just love Sonos. It's you know what Sonos is? It's just you can listen to a different song in every room of your house. You have a party mode. Somebody downstairs could be listening to this.
I have it,
You
yes.
have Sonos. It's great. So anyway, I don't know what's coming out, but I'm gonna look now. I forgot about that, guys.
Got another one right here.
Hello, Santa.
Hello.
How are you today?
Great.
What's your question?
After talking about Gene Hackman, since Martin
Talk into the mic, please, sir.
since Martin Cove is in the house, have you chatted with any other actors playing villains to just swap stories, get ideas?
A villain convention.
Wouldn't that be a good idea? Villains, an all-new con. Only the bad guys.
That'd be cool. No, I never really talked to anybody.
Not true. I talked to everybody.
No, I
You don't
talked
talk
to
about
them.
that.
Yeah, I talked to them, but I don't
You
go.
talked to them with farts.
How do you prepare for that? I'm like, I don't care. I prepare my own way. I don't need your help. No, but he's great. I love him.
All right, let's pop over to the other side of the room. Got 2 questions right here.
Michael, loved you in Pool Hall Junkies.
You're the one that saw that.
Yes.
You know what? That's a fun little movie with Jazz Palminteri, Christopher Walken, Rod Steiger's last movie. It's a cool little pool shooting movie that people really enjoy. If you ever get a chance, a little indie, it's called Pool Hall Junkies. But go ahead.
So, how good are you at pool now?
Pocket pool?
She got it more than anything. Look at her. She's like, whoa! Pocket pool. I know what you're talking about.
I used to be good. I trained for about a month and really learned how to shoot pool where I was pretty decent. I wasn't great, but now when I shoot, it takes me some time, but I'm not terrible. I'm okay.
Question right there.
Michael and Kristin, did you both like how your characters exited Smallville?
I really liked how my character exited Smallville. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I really do. I like that she left kind of empowered and kind of choosing her own destiny.
Yeah, I killed my sister.
Did you kill your sister too?
I did. What was her name? No, not Cass, the character. Tess.
You killed Tess?
I killed her. She was my sister. I had to cut the bitch in half. I'm kidding.
Did you chop her in half?
No, there was a movie called Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. He goes, which one of you killed your sister? She was my half sister, so I had to cut the bitch in half. I'm sorry, that's the line.
Did you like the way your character was?
I didn't have a problem with it. I came back for the final finale, and we did 24 hours of shooting, and there's a shot of me as president or whatever into the future or whatever. So it was cool. It was cool.
All right, over to your right, we've got one.
Thank you. I just want to first of all say thank you to both of you because I grew up watching both the animated Justice League and Unlimited as well as Smallville. Speaking of both of those, Michael, which character did you get the most enjoyment out of acting for, Lex or the Flash?
Well, let me give you an example. For Lex, I had to wake up an hour and a half to 2 hours in the morning. I had to shave my head, put tons of makeup on, wait a half an hour at the end of the shoot to get all the makeup off. For Lex, I would just be like, or for Flash, hey, Batman! Michael, could you say it a little bit less excited? Hey, Batman. Good, we got it. It was just a lot easier. I just walked in and had fun. Lex was a lot. I had to wear really shoes that hurt my back. I had to wear suits all the time.
It's important to know Michael likes to have a job that's fun and not too intense.
My therapist, she said, Michael, whatever you do, this is how I feel. You need to have an element of fun. Whatever you do in life, try to have an element of fun. If you're doing something that you just hate, if you can, try to not do that. You know what I mean? So I always look for projects that I think I could have fun doing that. So people are always like, do you want to do Lex again? I'm like, it wasn't really fun. It was cool. People liked it. We'll see.
How much money?
Let's head over to the
how much money?
And the other side of the room, actually, this young lady has a
Thank you, Michael, for the pretzel.
You're welcome.
He gave you a pretzel. He threw a pretzel at me.
No, I gave her a pretzel.
Hey, Michael and Kristin, thank you. I want to say, get the opening ceremony that you sang to us, 2 roses this time, so 2 roses. And speaking of Talkville, first question for Kristin, will you be coming on again?
Yeah, I imagine Talkville sometime.
And inside of you.
Yeah.
I love her. I love her. She's so giving. She's such a, and she's always like, what am I going to talk about? And we always find something to talk about. We do. We'll talk about the 100 books you just read last year.
Yes.
I had one
If
audio
anyone
book.
wants book suggestions, come see me. We'll chat.
Yeah, she's a reader.
And I read a variety of books.
And Michael, if you can get John Snyder out again, he's hilarious with you on the Talkville.
Yeah, I think he was without a shirt on inside of you. For the interview, he didn't have a shirt on while he was talking to me in his yard.
Oh, was he doing yard work?
No, I think he's just shirtless.
Copy that.
Yeah, but he was great. He's always great to talk to. He's a lot of fun.
And one more question from this side of the room.
This is for Kristin. When you left the series, did you leave because the studio wanted you to end the character, or did you have other interests and wanted to pursue other things?
Well, it's weird actually, because we ended, in season 7 there was the writer's strike. And so we all took off. I went and did a movie. And I didn't feel like the character, I didn't really want to play the character anymore. So we did like the season 8 wrap up for her, and that felt like the perfect end. I don't know if it was like mutual. I feel like it felt like the right time, and Clark was moving into, more of the Metropolis world with all the other superheroes and with Lois, and that felt like a totally different world from Lana.
He kind of looks like a very young Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Raise your hand. Raise your hand. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away. Got to know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. Be timing up counting when the deal is done. Yeah.
Yep, I think we have a request for Lucille.
I don't know the words to that one.
Hey guys, quick question. Like the show was filmed in Vancouver, but it's a very Americana show, obviously taking place in Kansas. So when you guys were, I guess, starting off in the show, what were kind of some traits or characteristics that the directors or producers kind of asked you kind of to take on to be a little bit more authentic?
Well, everyone was American except me in the beginning.
Was it Eric Johnson?
And Eric, yeah. But I think it was more about disguising Vancouver, because Vancouver is so distinctively a coastal mountain city. So it was about not shooting towards the mountains, making sure that we were in the country. I think that was more of it. And then also Lex embodied the city vibes. Yeah. So the suits and the things he hated. All the shoes. And I think the Americanness came from kind of this iconic idea of America. Corn and fields and, barns and this kind of idyllic, romantic ideal of America.
Yeah. What she said, I like that.
Okay, I got time for 3 more questions. Let's take a question. Let's just keep rolling.
Well, luckily this is for Kristin. So going into the show.
That was close.
That was close. Going into the show, like the history of Superman, obviously well known. So, and as Lana Lang versus eventually you're gonna go. So like, how was that as an actress, like knowing eventually one day you're not gonna come back?
I never thought about it. It wasn't something that concerned me, that I don't know, maybe I just didn't, it didn't, yeah. I thought that there was a wonderful story to be told with the characters as they were, and I don't know that a person's story ends when a romance with somebody ends, and I think that, we were able to explore continuously, and if there had been like a million more seasons and I had been there, I'm sure the writers would have found ways to move outside of like love triangles and give people their own motivations that were separate from that like primary storyline.
You got to know when to hold 'em,
All right, we have a question and a medley coming up very soon.
All right, so my friend Grace was at the panel in Columbus and was waiting in line to ask a question.
What movie is this from?
She didn't get to
Wait,
ask.
hang on. What movie is this from?
Michael.
I'm gonna interrupt you for a second. Grace, what movie is this from?
Grace died 30 years ago.
Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, so she wanted to know if Lana in high school had to do a book report, what book would she do it on?
Oh, I want to answer that question, but I can't answer it quickly. Would she look at it on Instagram if I posted an answer on Instagram?
She will, yeah.
Okay, I have to think about it. That one's hard, because I have to think about Lana. It's complicated.
Next question.
I will answer.
And the last question.
Oh, the last question. This is so much fun.
All right, we'll do more.
All right, great. Is everybody to come see us at our tables, for God's sakes? Yeah.
All right, we'll do
Do
some more.
this.
We'll do more questions.
Even the one that's not paying attention, that beautiful lady right there.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're wonderful. You've made the con special for me. Pay attention, for the love of God.
Season 6, you guys get married and you have a lot of intimate scenes. How awkward and is that? And do you talk about it beforehand, or do you just go to the scene?
It was very professional.
Always very professional.
Very professional. I remember one time, I don't know if you remember this. I went to you before something, and I go, hey, look, if I get excited or something, I apologize now. Just, we don't have a kissing or sex scene today. I go, oh, okay.
I don't remember this. Michael always checks if his breath is okay. That's like his primary.
Breath is so important to me.
respectful
Everybody has
thing.
bad breath every once in a while, but it's usually what you eat. But it's important to have good breath. So when you come up to see us at the table, pop in a mint. I'll like you that much better. Thank you, good. But I thought, look, it was professional. It didn't suck.
It is awkward sometimes. Absolutely.
But it did, look. It was awesome. Next question.
Get down here.
Michael, would you like to tell us about your new CD?
Oh,
An opportunity to plug something.
I know that you're like, oh, another actor with music, bullshit, it probably sucks, stick to acting. But the last 2 CDs we made are really awesome. They're really good. And the one's on Spotify now. The band's called Sunspin. Give it a shot. I think you're gonna like it. And you can also get the cool CD and merch at sunspin.com. So thank you. I love it. I really am proud of it. I think there's some really great. I sing all the songs. I wrote all of them. My partner in crime is a genius guitarist. We work very well together, Rob, and I love him. And it makes me happy. We don't make a lot of money off it. It doesn't matter. It's a passion.
Yeah, you love it. It's
Do
fun.
something you love. You know what I mean?
There you go.
That's a good segue. Because Michael got to talk about his passions. Kristin, since the show, what are things that have been passions of yours that you've been able to pursue after the show
Since
ended?
the show, it's been a million years. I mean, I love lots of things. I love reading. I got my degree. I started working when I was 17 years old in 12th grade, and then I worked constantly until, and at the end of Beauty and the Beast, I was like, I want to go back to school. So I went, and I took a million years, but I got my degree, and I'm thinking about getting my master's, but I also love all kinds of things. I've been doing art projects, and, you know.
She's super talented. I saw some of the painting stuff.
But I think you didn't understand what
I
it
did.
was.
It's the picture,
Yeah,
the real
and then
picture,
I'm-
and then you do that. But I couldn't do that.
You could. I could teach you very easily.
I don't have the time.
Okay.
Gonna swing over to this side of the room for a couple questions.
I actually have a question for both of you guys. How did you guys get into acting? My sister is interested in acting, but she doesn't know where to start.
Do you mean like professionally?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe Michael.
Look, I'll just give you a brief rundown. You probably know my story, but I was an awkward kid. I grew up in a small town. I wasn't popular. I didn't know where I didn't belong anywhere. And I was taking a drama class in high school because it was kind of a free A. You just messed around. The teacher didn't care, Mrs. Paternoster. And you just did goofy stuff, and we mimed. I mimed going to the bathroom, and everybody laughed. And I was like, oh, all right, it was weird. And then I went, she said, hey, you can't take drama class senior year unless you audition for a play. And I'm like, oh. And I was about to drop drama because I was like, no way, I don't have the
Chop.
No, I don't have the chops, but I don't have
You
the...
weren't like brave enough?
I
You
was
felt nervous?
insecure. I didn't have the confidence. Confidence. Not a big word there, Rosenbaum. And finally I said, hell with it, I won't get it anyway. And I auditioned, and I got this part of Vince Fontaine, the DJ in Greece.
Ooh, that's fun.
And I was like, hey, it's me, brain, Vince Fontaine, spinning the stacks of wax here at the House of Wax, WAXX, cruising time. 1026, Sharpshooters pick hit of the week, a brand new one, shoot up the charts like a rocket by the Bellevue Rays. I remember the whole thing still. I was so nervous. And after that, the applause. I was like, oh my.
Oh, is that what got you? Oh, Michael!
Look, I was a kid who, my parents were like, I love you, you're good, I'm proud, you're great.
Yeah, no.
Nothing.
You didn't get that.
Zero.
You didn't get that.
Zero.
I get it. I
And
hear
so
you.
when I heard that, that to me was like, oh my God, I've never felt this before. This kind of sounds sad. It is sad. But then I did it, and I noticed something. I walked down the hallways the next day in school after the play, and some popular kid, captain of the football team, just goes, hey dude, you were really funny in that play last night. And I'm like, so not being me is cool. And from there on out, I went to college, started getting more confidence in tons of plays, and you have to train. That's the key.
Yes, train. But I agree with him because I didn't train very much. Training is really, I think, really key, honestly.
Because honestly, most of the time, you're not going to get a job unless you're absolutely stunning and breathtaking, and then if you're okay, they'll be like, hire him. But if you're not as good looking, and I was kind of, you know, in the middle there, maybe a little bit on good days, but I honestly, I felt like I had to be good, I had to be great, I had to be the best I could, and they can't turn me down. And I thought that was the best chance I had. So study, take classes, get better, do plays, do short films, do about it. I don't know much about it, but I'm gonna look into it now. I really didn't know anything about that, did you?
No.
Lastly, let's everybody get together on this. You got to know when to hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em. Give them the white hair. Know when to walk away. You gotta know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting. When the dealing's done. Yes! Thank you so much, guys.
You guys, give it up.
Appreciate you. Thank you. That was a lot of fun. Come see us at the table. We love you guys. We couldn't do without you.
Give it up.
Thank you, brother.
Back at you. We're going to go to the table, hang out. Hey, everybody, let's go do a photo with you guys.
We're going to do a video.
All right.
I want everybody to say. Ready?
Ready? Here we go. All right, give it up. They're still in the room. That's entertainment. Thanks, guys.